Welcome back to another edition of Math. I'm your cousin slash tutor Bryce, and I'm thirsty, so I'll be back. Check it out. It's my Skyline cup. This lesson of math brought to you by Skyline Chili. Okay. Where was I going with this? Oh, properties. All right. 3 basic properties that are very helpful with math and such. Number 1, commutative property. Communitive property tells us that as long as everything is addition, we can rearrange the order, and it's all going to be the same answer. What's 2 plus 3 plus 4? 9. What about 2 plus 4 plus 3? Also 9. What about 4 plus 2 plus 3? Also 9. What about 3 plus 4 plus 2? Also 9. Okay. That one's pretty straightforward. This is called the commutative property of addition. It also works with multiplication. Let's take a look. 2 times 3 is 6. 6 times 4 is 24. 2 times 4 is 8. 8 times 3 is 24. 4 times 2 is 8. Times 3 is 24. 3 times 4 is 12. Times 2 is 24. This is called the commutative property of addition. So it just tells us we can change the order as long as it's either all addition or all multiplication, and the answer will be the same. So our keyword for commutative is order. Okay, next we have the associative property. Associative property tells us that we can change the grouping of a certain addition or multiplication problem. And as we see here, we have parentheses. What do parentheses tell us? When it comes to order of operations, it tells us to do that part first. So if we do this part first, we have 2 plus 3 is 5, plus 4 equals 9. And then over here we have 3 plus 4 comes first, which is 7, plus 2 also equals 9. Now, let's take a look at multiplication. Over here we have 3 times 2 is 6, times 5 is 30. And over here we do in parentheses first, 2 times 5 is 10, times 3 is 30. Now, so the key word here is groupings. Now, the reason this is advantageous for us, grouping. We had order for commutative, grouping for associative, is because sometimes certain multiplications are going to be more beneficial. So right here, 2 times 5 is 10, and 10 is nice. Why is 10 nice? Because it has that 0 on the end. So if we were to rewrite the problem, we have 3 times 10. Now, because this problem is so small, it doesn't really matter which order we do first. But sometimes there's going to be a lot of cases where we want to being able to multiply by 10 is a lot easier than our other options. So it's good to be able to do our multiplication and our addition in different orders to help us out a bit. Finally, we have the distributive property. Distributive property is a special case where we have some things in parentheses and then we have something on the outside of those parentheses. What does it mean when we have a number touching a parenthesis? It means we have multiplication going on right down here. So let's take a look with this example first. So distributive property says whatever's on the outside, we're going to distribute to each of the terms on the inside. So let's take a look here. We have 4, and we are going to distribute through multiplication. 4 times 2. What is that? That's going to give us 8. And now we have 4 times 5, which is going to give us positive 20. Now we have 8 plus 20, which is 28. Let's take a look at what it does over here. Distribute through 3 times a. Well, 3 a's gives us 3a. And now we have 3 times 2b. 3 times 2 is 6. Times b is 6b. So that's just going to give us positive 6b. So see, we multiplied each of these by 3. And then one last case, we'll use a negative sign just to show you what that looks like. 2 times x minus 3y. 2 times x gives us 2x. 2 times negative 3y. Well, what's 2 times a negative 3? There's only one negative sign, which gives us negative 6 times y, negative 6y. Okay, those are the 3 basic properties. We're going to be using these types of concepts a lot, so just make sure you're familiar with them.